Welcome to Paleo Hebrew, where we're going to get to grips with what the words really do mean. Okay. All right. Hebrew. Who knows anything about the language? How many letters? 22 letters. And each letter has remembered, a numerical value. A picture. Yeah? The Paleo Hebrew it started with a picture. A sound. And a meaning. Okay, so we're going to be going through the letters today, literally one by one, and learning the alphabet. But just before we do, we're going to take a look at some of the words, just to give us a little bit of passion for where we're heading, okay? And for us to show that actually Hebrew is going to be great. Hebrew words, when they are written, generally only the consonants are written. Sometimes they put the vowels in, but generally once you get into Hebrew, you'll see that they don't often put the vowels in. But the vowels are what those jots and tittles are. The little dots or strokes above and below the main looking things, which are actually the consonants. Okay, so that's the first thing that people generally get put off with. The second one is that we read from right to left. So we're literally going to change our heads all the way around, 180 degrees. And we read the words from the consonant down to the vowel, up again to the next consonant, and down. Okay. We all happy so far? We're all on page 1? We're not too nervous about these? Because if you can make it past page 1, that's it. Easy sailing. Okay, so let's take a look at the first step of reading, consonants only. This is in English, by the way, so you won't need to, we're not testing it too quickly. Okay, so we can all read. And if the vowels are taken out, you can still recognize it? Okay, let's see if we can read this sentence. Just take a few seconds just to give some people maybe time to recognize it. Okay? So if you can read it, let's read it together. Well done! You see, first major test, done. Slam dunk. We can read without vowels. We've just been taught, certainly from English and Afrikaans, yeah, that we need vowels. But actually we don't. We can manage this, yeah? Okay, we ready? Next high jump or next hurdle. Can we read that word? Remember now, the next test is, can we read from the right to the left? Hallelujah. Yeah? And this is how we write in Hebrew. So the consonant will be written, and then the vowel below. And then the consonant, and then the vowel. So H-A-L-E. L, and then sometimes the O and the U are put in there, or the O and the U are put in there, and they have what they call a placeholder, which we'll look at that later. But that is really, that's how simple we've got to keep it, okay? Because when we try to read too much, too quickly, and whatever, that's when it gets complicated. And I'm being absolutely honest and serious. Hebrew is that simple. Once you know the sounds of each letter, you can figure out the word literally by just making the sound of each of the vowels, even if of each of the consonants, even if you don't know the vowels. You may not know the word. We get there, okay? Even if you need Google Translate to help you at the beginning. But that is, so just keep persevering. Okay. The reason why I get so passionate about the Hebrew letters is because of the meaning that they give when we understand each of the letters. So let's just take a look at a few of the words before we actually start going through the letters. So Aleph is the first. Don't worry about it. We're going to go through the letters just now. Okay, this is just to get you excited about it. The first letter is an Aleph. Okay, and that stands for, or the meaning behind that letter, just that letter alone, is strong, leader, or first. The second letter is a bait. That letter, just that letter alone, means house. Okay? So when we put the Aleph and the bait, which are the first two letters together, it's the word for father in Hebrew. We say Abba, but actually grammatically correct in Hebrew, it's Av or Ab. Aleph, bait. Ab, we say Abba, is the word for father. And when we look at the meaning of each of those letters and put them together, we see that father, by definition in Hebrew, by the very letters, is the leader, the first, or the strong one of the house. Isn't that amazing? Can you imagine explaining to your child, your grandchild, somebody? No, you want to understand what a father is. Simple. In a functional house. But isn't that what we're doing all the time? We're calling them into alignment. You know, this is what the truth is. The truth is that a father is the leader, the first, the strong one of the house. And so if there is dysfunction in the house, then whoever's hearing it can be aware that we're not in alignment. And this is where I just want to encourage us, when we talk to people, always beware, as we spoke about, the mouth, the pay, yeah? The life and death is in the tongue. Just remember that when we speak, yeah, that those words, if they are the truth, they speak directly into somebody's spirit. And so you call into alignment their spirit, yeah? Then it's their indaba to go and deal with their soul, their mind, their will, their emotions. I think, I will, I want, I feel, yeah? They've got to bring it into alignment. But if you've helped to speak truth and to bring their spirit into alignment, that's the first step. And that is one of the callings of what we're called to do. We're not called to go and pull somebody completely into alignment and do all the planting, watering, and harvesting. We're just called to speak the truth. Exactly. Okay, so that's the father. The mother, M. Because of the vowels, it's the same letter, Aleph, because this is actually a silent letter. So here it's used with an A, here it's used with a vowel, the E. So again, it's the strong or the first. Mem, at the end of the word, and it means chaos or waters. In this case, the definition is for waters. So a mother, in Hebrew, by definition, is the strong or the first life-giving waters. So that's who our mother is. All mothers are. By God's definition, it doesn't matter what anybody else says or even believes. That is what I believe with my whole heart. As you can see, I believe with my whole heart. That's what He made mothers to be. And then in Hebrew, we often speak certainly as soon as there are a group of people, we will talk about them in the masculine. So often we will speak about a brother, but actually it means a sister as well. Okay, and when you talk about the brothers, it actually means the brothers and the sisters. Okay. So the word for brother in Hebrew is ach. Again, Aleph, the strong, the first, chet. Chet is the letter for fence or protection. So who is our true brother or sister in life? Our first, our strong fence or protection. And isn't that just amazing to know that that is the way Father defined the family? That the father is the head, the first, the strong one, the protection. Why? Because he's representing Father God himself here in the family. And then the mother as the life-giving waters. Although we know they are echad, but those are their roles within it. And then the children, the brothers and the sisters, are the ones who are the strong fences and protections for one another. And that analogy he uses throughout the scriptures, isn't it? Because we are here as brothers and sisters, being the strong fence for one another. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And just imagine if he had been what he had been created to be. But of course the adversary comes to kill, rob, and destroy. So, but we know the plan. Okay, so when we look at, I'll just take this off, the word for for peace in Hebrew, shalom. We have sheen, which means teeth or destroy. Lamet, which means is used for staff or authority. The vav, which is the nail or establishes, creates, or a connector. And the mem, the waters or the chaos. So peace, by definition, again in Hebrew, is to destroy the authority that creates or establishes chaos. So that's what true peace is. Peace isn't coming in with something else necessarily. It may be part of what you're doing or part of what God is doing in the situation. But when he steps in with his peace, yeah, or when we step in on his behalf, we destroy the authority that is creating chaos in that situation. So when he sends us out as a light into the world, I don't believe he goes there to say, go twinkle. No. He says, go and shine, that the enemy has to flee. And what happens when you turn a light on, or even just light the candle in the middle of a room? The darkness flees. For all of a sudden, you can see throughout the room. So those are the things, as you can see, the enormity that I believe is enmeshed in the words, in the very letters of this language that I believe with my whole heart, Genesis 1:1, when it says, and God spoke. This is what he spoke. And when Zechariah talks about restoring a pure language, this is what he's busy doing.
So when you lose your peace, you normally get fear. So you can actually remind yourself that he's given us his peace, and that destroys fear.
Yeah.
Fear is like a lack of trust.
Yes, exactly.
So you can remind yourself when you're feeling anxious, God has given us his peace, which destroys that anxiety or whatever.
Yeah. Exactly. You've run ahead of me, Marco. No. That's great. It's just, let me find the right one because I wasn't sure whether we were going to do this one today or next week. So let's do it today. Okay, so in Hebrew, there are actually 3 words for fear, which we only have one for. And the one is Ema, and the other is Yara. So, Ema is Aleph, yeah? Yud, Mem, Hey. Hey is the word for behold, or what comes from. So very often when you see Hey or Ayin, which is see, it's meaning take note, attention, behold, see, okay? And this word, this part of the word of Ema is made up of the Aleph and the Mem, which we've just seen, yes, is mother, M, and Yud and Aleph that actually mean A, where there is no. Yeah, Ain, where there is no. So when we're talking about fear, terror, Ema, what we're actually saying is what happens when there is no mother. That's what fear, terror is. So we know mother is the life-giving waters, so where there is no life-giving waters. Fear, awe, which is the commandment, the spirit of fear, is the beginning of wisdom. So Father uses fear, but it's a different fear. It's fear, awe, yareh, yeah? Yud, Resh, Aleph. Aleph again. Sorry, Yud, the hand, Resh and Aleph, which actually mean ra'ah, to see. And so fear, awe is the hand you see, or God's hand. So when you see the hand of God in it, that is when you have fear, awe. So again, another example, incredible example of what I think the Hebrew language and the letters and the Paleo-Hebrew letters bring when we're looking at things. Okay, so let's start with the very first letter, Aleph. Do we already know what it means? Yep. First, strong, leader, and sometimes it actually refers in the word to God himself. Okay? It's a silent letter, and usually it has the vowels A or E before it. So as we've already seen with Abba and Ach, it would have been the A vowel, and M for mother, it would have been the E vowel. Okay? So here are your cheat sheets. Marion always likes giving cheat sheets. So here are your letters. I'm going to be adding some of the meanings of what are on those sheets. And so Marion will also hand out a black koki. So please feel free to just add those words. Okay, so what you're getting now is the full alphabet from Aleph to Tav. So it's 2 sheets with all of this information that I'm going to go through and the picture. and we'll be using those every week. So please bring them. And these are yours, okay? So write on it, do whatever you need on it to make sure that you've got all your sheets, symbols, numbers, whatever, notes. Okay. And then if we can also hand out the practice sheets. Okay. So we have the letter Aleph. And there's only one way, or there's a very good way to learn to recognize it. It's to write it. Okay, so Marion's going to be handing out sheets now where we're going to practice writing 1, 2, 5, a row of Alephs, so that we can get used to it. Yeah, you've got that? Nick, please. Oh, here you go, Nick. Okay, so we're going to, the top line, yes, Aleph. Everybody got it? Yeah, everybody got it, yeah? The top line over here. Let's just practice a few Alephs. And can I hear it, please? Aleph. 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 Do you want to do the next one, Jonathan? Do you know what bait is? Okay, we got Aleph. What are our Alephs looking like? Let's check. Okay. Okay, we got a few. Well done, well done. Yes, very nice. Do I have to come and look over there? Taking my responsibilities very seriously. Ooh, very nice. Okay. You happy doing it in Koki, or do you need pens or something? Are you happy? Okay. Yeah, everybody okay? Aleph, Aleph, Aleph. Okay. Bait. Bait is one of the Hebrew letters that if it has a dot in it, it's pronounced one way, and if it doesn't, it's pronounced another way. Okay? And really, it's a harsher sound and a softer sound. So we've got bait and, or bet and vet. Ba and va. Ba and va. Bet and vet. And that means house, tent, family, or into. Okay, so shall we practice it? Let's do bet first for 10 times. Bet, 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 bet. And sometimes from our bait, 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 bait. Vet, 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 vet. Okay, we got it. Can we write it? Let's do that a couple of times. Everybody happy with that? How to do it? Sort of a backward straight R with a floor to it. Happy, happy? I don't hear singing. Aleph bait, Aleph bait. Yeah? Aleph bait, Aleph bait. Okay, one more. Aleph bait, Gimel. Okay, so you know Hebrew. You know that you know your alphabet when you wake up in the middle of the night and you're going, Aleph bait, Gimel, Dalet, Hey, Vav, Zayin, Hey. Yeah. Aleph bait, Gimel. Aleph bait, Gimel. Gimel, ga, 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 ga. Yeah? Gimel is the picture for, as you can see on your cheat sheets, the camel. Yeah? So it's all about carrying, giving, going, lifting up, and sometimes even pride. Okay, but quite an important one. We'll see it in some of the words later. Gimel, Gimel. So we start from the left at the top and we go across and diagonally down and then we give it a leg. Yeah? Gimel, 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 Gimel. That one was a bit cockeyed, sorry. Gimel. Can we have it 10 times? Gimel, 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 Gimel. Okay. This is the reason why we have to do it by song, because we don't get it saying it quite right. So we're going to play a song. We're going to do the first 3 letters. It's going to go through 5 times. Just listen to the rest of the alphabet, but unless you know it. But let's just get the tune and Aleph, Bet, Gimel. Aleph, Bet, Gimel, Dalet, Hey, Vav, Zayin, Chet, Tet, Yud, Kaf, Lamet, Mem, Nun, Samech, Ayin, Pei, Tzadik, Kuf, Resh, Tav. Ready? Aleph, Bet, Gimel, Vav, Zayin, Chet, Tet, Yud, Kaf, Lamet, Mem, Nun, Samech, Ayin, Pei, Tzadik, Kuf, Tav. Again, coming. Aleph, Bet, Gimel, Vav, Zayin, Chet, Tet, Yud, Kaf, Lamet, Mem, Nun, Samech, Ayin, Pei, Tzadik, Kuf, Resh, Tav. Okay. Jade, please, will you put on the group again? Okay. Seriously, if you put that in your car, in the house, on for the next 3 weeks, 21 to 28 days to create a new neural pathway, you'll have it. And it's a song, a tune we all know. And that's what makes it so easy. And one of the most important things is when you're looking at the Hebrew, even if you have to, at the beginning, be going through all the letters in your mind. If you can sing it, because you've got a song to follow, you'll go Aleph, Bet, Aleph, Bet, Aleph, Bet, Gimel, and it'll come because of the tune. So it's a wonderful way of learning anything, is to sing it. Okay. All right. Aleph, Bet, Gimel. Who can cheat on their cheat sheets? Colin's got it. Dalet. Dalet means door. One of the most important letters to learn. Because who's the door? See, Jonathan's been listening to his Lord. He is the door. Okay. And a lot is said about the door and the Dalet. And the Dalet comes through quite a bit. So, Dalet, door, pathway, or to enter in. Okay, let's write a few Dalets. Okay, we go across and then down, and we leave a little hanging bit there because it's different to one of the other letters called Resh. Okay, so you sort of write it like we write a T. Happy with that? Okay. Ooh. I don't like you. There we go. Okay, Aleph, Bet, Gimel, Dalet. This is how we say this one. Hey. Can you imagine? Just close your eyes and hear that sound. That could well have been the sound when he breathed life into Adam. He leant over and said, hey, wake up. Come forth, Adam. Aleph, Beit, Gimel, Dalet. Hey, hey, behold, reveal, worship, window, God's breath itself. Very strong word. Very, very strong word. Okay, shall we practice writing some hays? Okay, note that it doesn't, there's an opening here between the crossbar at the top and the left hand down, yes? Okay, because there's another word, there's another letter where these touch, where it goes to the top. So make sure you leave some opening there for the hay. Okay. Can we hear hey, 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 hey? Hey, hey, hey! You see, now this is me getting into my prophetic thing. Hey! Wake them up. Wake them up. We've got to get the city awake, fulfilling its purpose. Right. Aleph, Beit, Gimel, Dalet, Hey, Vav. Vav. Also a very important one. Va, 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 va. The nail, hook, connection, create, establish. Vav. Okay? Can we hear it? Vav. Vav, 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 vav. Okay, so it's a little curly at the top as such, and then straight down. Just like a connector, a tent peg. Yes? Tent peg. And the reason why it's nice to draw it like that is because when we use this as a vowel, as a holder for the vowels, the I, it becomes an I when there's a dot on top. Sorry, it becomes an O when there's a dot on top, and it becomes a U when there's a dot there. So it's nice to sort of hold it up there for the O. Okay. Vav, 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 vav. Can we have some music, please? Let's practice. Let's get this. Aleph, Beit, Gimel, Dalet, Hey, Vav. Aleph, Beit, Gimel, Dalet, Hey, Vav. Aleph, Beit, Gimel, Dalet, Hey, Vav. Aleph, Beit, Gimel, Dalet, Hey, Vav, Zayin, Chet, Tet, Yud, Kaf, Lamed, Mem, Nun, Samech, Ayin, Hey, Tzadi, Kuf, Resh, Ta. Aleph, Beit, Gimel, Dalet, Hey, Vav, Zayin, Chet, Tet, Yud, Kaf, Lamed, Mem, Nun, Samech, Ayin, Pei, Tzadi, Kuf, Resh, Ta. Okay, next one is, are you getting used to your cheat sheets? Can you look ahead? Zayin, 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 Zayin. And it is the word for z, z. Cut off, sword, sword of the Spirit. Yeah, another important letter. Sword of the Spirit. Zion. Sorry? Yes, exactly. Thank you, Nick. That slope on the top So it's not flat, it's at an angle and then coming down. At an angle and then coming down. You know, like some of the telephone poles that are at an angle. Just like that. Except this one is the sword of the Spirit going forth. Zion. Can we have Zion 10 times? Zion. 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 Okay. Chet. Chet. Does anybody recognize Chet? Abba. M and Ach. So brother is Aleph and Chet. Chet, our fence or wall, the separation, the shield of protection or privacy. Okay? CH. Chet. 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 Okay, you remember I said be careful how you write the hay, because the chet is the same, but it's joined. So, I mean, it's just, but that's actually how you write it. Yeah? You don't just do it in one. You do the right-hand side and then the left. And it's really helpful to write it the way that it's meant to be written and intended. Because when you start doing other things and you're writing from right to left, if you write it correctly and learn it correctly, you will be able to write quicker and smoother. Perhaps the word better is smoother. That's the tav. Chet. Tav. Right at the end. Tav. You're running ahead of me again. Oh, is it done like that on the sheets? Oh, okay. No, this is simple Hebrew. This is simple Hebrew. Okay. Let's practice. Aleph, Beit, Gimel, Dalet, Hey, Vav, Zayin, Chet. Again. Aleph, Beit, Gimel, Dalet, Hey, Vav, Zayin, Chet. Chet, Tet. Tet. Tet's a lovely one because it gets us all curled up because it's all about a surrounding. I don't like the snake part, but it is. Okay? And it's a ta sound. Okay, we have two ta sounds. The tav that we just mentioned, which is the last letter, and tet. So you've got to be careful and on your toes when you're spelling words. Is it a tav or is it a tet? Because they're two T's. But tet. Okay. Now to draw that one, you've got to think circular and then draw it like a square. So you go up, yeah, diagonally, and then down, across the bottom, and up the other side. Tet, 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 tet. Okay, let's have 10 tets. Tet, 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 tet. Okay, let's go to 100. Tet, 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 tet. You're the only one who will join me, Jane. Tet, 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 tet. Okay, we'll do one more. If we can get the... Mind the vav. We've got a literal vav here sticking out. This vav that I don't know whether it's connecting anything. Won't you just pull two of those out for me, please? So, thank you. Okay, Yut. Now, even though, can you see here, I've dotted in the bottom of the line, yeah? So Yut is only a half letter. It only goes halfway down the space. And it's the letter for Y, what we would understand as Y. It's the hand of power, work, or to make. Yut. Yut. So when we do it, if I drew it next to a tet, for example, it would only go halfway down like that. Okay? So whereas we had the vav like that, the yud only goes halfway down. Yes? Can you all see that? Okay. So you want to practice some yuds there on your sheet. Yud, 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 yud. Okay, Marion, can we have some music, please? We do very well with the music. We like the music. Yeah? Aleph, Beit, Gimel, Dalet, Hey, Vav, Zayin, Chet, Tet, Yud, Kaf, Lamet, Mem, Nun, Samech, Ayin, Pei, Tzadi, Kuf, Resh, Tav. Aleph, Beit, Gimel, Hey, Vav, Zayin, Chet, Tet, Yud, Kaf, Lamet, Mem, Nun, Samech, Ayin, Pei, Tzadi, Kuf, Resh, Tav. Aleph, Bet, Gimel, Dalet, Hey, Vav, Zayin, Chet, Tet, Yud, Kaf, Lamet, Mem, Nun, Samech, Ayin, Pei, Tzadi, Kuf, Resh, Tav. Thank you. So just to do the so the name, who knows what God's name is? Yes, he has lots of names. But what was the name that he gave to Moses? The I am God. The Yud, Hey, Vav, Hey. Yud, Hey, Vav, Hey. We write it as YHVH and we put vowels in it and say Yehovah or Jehovah. But there's no J in Hebrew, but Yehovah, yeah? Or Yahweh. So when we look at the meaning of the letters, Yud is hand, Hey is behold, Vav is the nail or the connection, and another Hey. We could read his name, Yud Hey Vav Hey himself, as behold the hand, behold the nail. And that's the God who we serve, the one who died for us. Amen. Here endeth the lesson for today.